Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your dialer using the Tmax Dialer Predictive Dialer. First, open your web browser. We would prefer to use Chrome and come to this web address, login.tmaxdialer.com. Next, please check your email for your Tmax Dialer Predictive Dialer is now being set up email. That's going to give you all the necessary login credentials you'll need. Today we're going to use server PD6 and use your email and password that you logged in with. Next, click I agree. You can choose to remember the password or not, and then click submit. First, we're going to come to the campaigns tab, and we're going to build the master template that you're going to use to create all templates and campaigns past that. So first, we're going to name this asterisk master template so it stays at the top of the list. Next, we're going to put in our name and the phone number that will appear on the caller ID when we call somebody. Next, we'll click on limits. You can set these times for any time you want to. You'll never call before 8 a.m. or never call after 9 p.m. Keep in mind that is where you're calling to, not where you're calling from. Next, we're going to click on options. Right now, I'm just going to set the dial rate number to 1 and the wait for agent to 7 seconds. The dial rate override, this is how many numbers your agents are dialing at once, and the wait for agent is, let's say this was at 2 and both lines picked up. The second line, that agent or another agent has 7 seconds to get to that call, or the call is going to drop. Again, I'm going to set this back to 1. You could choose to bypass answering machines, or you could take all calls, and you could choose to record all calls or not. When you're done, click Save Campaign. Now we have our master template built. Now we're going to create a new campaign to load our list into. So as you can see, all this is either blank or not filled out yet. If we just click Load, that loads in everything that we just went through on the master template. So now what we'll do is we'll just rename this. We're going to call it Test for right now, and then click Save Campaign, and here you can see your new campaign. Any of these buttons, if you just hold your mouse over them for a moment, it will give you a brief description of what each button does. So right now, the one that we really want is the blue plus button, so we can upload our list. Next, we're going to click on Load CSV File. We'll choose that file and click Open. Now, typically, if you just hit auto assign, it will go through and it will populate everything for you. These are your headers. If you need to choose something from your drop-down menu, just make sure it corresponds. Your primary phone number will always be *phone*. At the bottom, just click I'm allowed to call these contacts, and then click Upload. Here it says it could take up to 10 minutes depending on the size of the file. You will see your dialer load here in the background like that, and you will receive an email every time that a new campaign is uploaded. Next, we're going to come down here to your Settings tab, and then we're going to come up here and click on this lock screen. You always want to make sure that your microphone and your sound is set to allow. Once that's done, you want to click on the Test SIP Phone Web Phone Registration. You will hear a woman ask you or tell you that your SIP phone set up correctly. She'll ask you to say something, and then she'll tell you play back what you said. Once that's done, you know that everything's configured correctly. Now, come to your dashboard. When you first log in the morning, this is where it's going to bring you. All you need to do to log into a campaign is click Test. Now, when you click your campaign, it's going to take you to a new screen. It's automatically going to start dialing, and when a call connects, you're going to see all that information appear right here. Okay? Now, this agent disconnect button, we'll go back to that in a minute. All these buttons here, again, if you just hold your mouse over them, it'll give you a brief description of what each button does. This is always done last. When you disposition a call, the dialer thinks that you're done with that call, and it's going to hang up and move on to the next call. So when you're done, just choose the disposition that most closely resembles what happened on the call, and it's going to go to idle and start calling again. When you're done dialing for the day, make sure you always hit the agent disconnect button so that the web phone disconnects properly, so when you log in, everything works as it should. I know there are a lot of things that I did not go over in this. You can always chat us at this button down here at the right. You could check out videos on our YouTube channel, or you can always check out our knowledge base over here, which has all kinds of helpful articles and tutorials and videos in it. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching.